Saturday Showdown. Life Esports versus D+ Kia.
And then Cassante picked Interna. The good old frog self-counter pick action. We've seen this every game so far today on red side. It is just pick Cassante into stuff you don't win against. See whether we can do it. Let's jump into the rip for game number 1. I'm having a little look here. You can see Showmaker dealing with a pesky minion.
And aiming, taking the cleanse this time, which he didn't have in that last matchup, which he definitely paid for. So, little lesson from that one.
He's pretty new, you know, only 497 games.
After 500,
so far.
You really should know that. But,
Yeah.
And yeah, so Ash really can't have enough pressure here. You can't engage well onto Ezreal.
Oh, okay, trying to bait him in.
Yeah, he was down in farm. And you can see he had to TP back in.
Big pull.
Heal up.
Kellen just kind of regretting it though, because Teddy just stands back. The flash comes out in response. And then aiming being able to do some damage in the fight, but isn't really the main character. I think that they've looked the best when they've been able to make those sort of team fights work. And D+ will be able to take all 3 of the first grubs. DRX not going to lose anyone for it, I guess, just going for a bit of a flip.
Like, I remember I saved up so I could buy Magic Pen in every slot. And I'd run that on Tom Kench, and you walk up in lane and just unlash them for like 100 damage level.
Well, Arrow is going to come down, but Kellen is going to tank it up. I think he's still just really dead. He's just sort of stunned forever, as Pleta actually using that Shield of Daybreak exactly when he needed to. Yep, not a lot of moving. Sponge is down here once again. Ulti now in hand from Kellen, but has to immediately be used. Want to be able to take this dragon. So far doing a fair bit of damage to it already. With some control of the Banana Brush, we know that that is the most important thing. And Trinity Force is now completed for King, and teleport at the ready. A dangerous time for DRX.
Yeah, Frog doesn't have TP. I think they just let this go. I think this is the correct move.
And Sponge going to turn up on top of that control ward, and it looks like Shelly is going to be next thing on the menu. 4 members of DRX moving their way down. That is a high-value statue going to be thrown towards DRX, and the True Shot Barrage is also really good for the added damage. Teddy going to move around as well. 5 members of DRX here towards the north. As D+, let's see whether they win this 50-50. So much poke coming in. Solar Flare going completely wide. And Frog going to get knocked up. The arrow is avoided. Frog's burning down. Sponge as well takes a boomerang to the back of the head. And that is going to be the Rift Herald secured. Boomerang connects. Buster Shot has to be used. But now Showmaker wanted to move forward with impunity. And DRX just not really able to pull the trigger in that fight. As, all right, aiming doesn't land the W, and therefore will just get the heck away. Nothing that they can do to stop you from just sort of distorting in. Kingen now going to get speared here as Sponge comes in. Good flash. Solar Flare still going to get the stun, and Kingen is very much going to die. Pounce comes forward, and Sponge going to collect his happy birthday kill. It's going to be responded with an outer turret being taken down here in this mid lane, but the tower does also fall in bot, and I believe that was first turret blood being picked up by DRX as well, as Tristana able to race Shelly. This is some drifting, as even the Rift Scuttler is going to be taken. Throws boomerangs.
Yes.
As Teddy, he's throwing a boomerang at Ash, and Teddy going to flash over the wall, and Lucid is just going to break his heart. That is going to be a kill. First one for D+, actually coming pretty late into this game, but it's a pretty effective one as well. Looks like no is going to be the answer. It's aiming, Arcane shifting forward. We've seen that one before. Hit by the arrow. There's the cleanse, baby. That's what we're talking about. Kellen going to take a spear to the back of the head.
That is an Arcane shift forward you can only do if you have cleanse, I'll tell you that much.
Yep, and so he can't do it for an extended period of time now, because the cleanse was no.
Try and stop him.
Yeah. Well, headbutt pulp onto Pleta, who is just going to return the favor with a stun. Not sure about this one. He has been ignited. There is the ulti. Just Kellen biding his time, waiting for an opportunity as Teddy. Oh no, Lucid, his worst nightmare, is going to land on him once again. True Shot Barrage only going to hit onto Frog, but they have them right where they want them. He tries to mitigate the CC, throws them over. That all-out was so sick, but the Pulverize is even better from Kellen. The double kill comes in now from Showmaker. He does immediately die thereafter, but I still think an absolutely sick play from D+.
Egregious example. Arrow comes.
Okay, aiming. The Arcane shifted sideways, not forward. As Kellen not going to be so lucky. There's a headbutt back. Kellen still down to 50%. Pleta is just eradicated though, and Kingen is right in there. He is just going to get taken down. Kind of a freebie.
Rude. It's still a good trade for DRX overall because Kellen is so low and Kingen is dead. But Kellen is looking for a flank angle.
Yeah, and Yahoo actually just standing his ground. The Buster Shot does come in. He's almost just dead, but he is going to survive, at least for now. Still, DRX cannot fight, and that is going to be Soul Point going over to D+. Showmaker really taking matters into his own hands. True Shot Barrage is going to hit Teddy, not Yahoo. Talking about spikes, of course, aiming does have his now secured, as well as a cheeky brutalizer on top as Kingen. All right, he's just going to find Sponge and destroy him. That's his birthday present right there.
Beautiful flank angle comes in. The hidden Gnaw ends up catching out the Nidalee, and now no jungler. DRX have to try and approach this and find a good fight.
Kingen just jumped over a wall and won the game, basically.
Yep.
That was pretty impressive. Okay. Let's see whether DRX can do anything about this. They don't really want to give it away for free. Xenoblade going to go wide. The arrow is going to be absorbed by the cow, who just presses the I don't care button. They take themselves a Baron. Kellen goes down relatively low. Kingen does have that Mega Gnaw relatively available. Another great all-out here from Frog, and that is a very dead Lucid. But that is the only thing that they get. The Baron's still going over to D+. I think they're still pretty happy.
The Baron power play is still in the negative. They're about even in gold. They are down in dragons, but they keep their hopes alive.
Well, Kellen is going to absorb even more CC as he looks to try and turn it, but gets the flash out from Pletter instead. He has to flash immediately away. The Ignite ticking, and the bomb is just going to take the kill. And Kingen looking to try and force something here. And Showmaker dashes in, finds Frog, but otherwise not too much. Some health bars getting chunked down. Teddy's still at full health, though. That is a big deal. Frog absorbing, and won't be able to do that one forever, as now Showmaker looking for that. Oh! Where'd he go? There goes, I don't know. That was that death cap he was waiting for, and worked pretty well.
Also, a solo AP LeBlanc, so it feels bad itemizing MR. Yeah, sorry.
And I feel like in these fights, DRX have actually looked a little bit better. It's playing the map that has been pretty hard. True Shot Barrage is going to fly over. Decent mitigation, but now Sponge kind of out of the fight. Another all-out opportunity as they get rid of the cow. But starting the fight without Kellen, that has been the way. They steal it, but that's a gigantic Gnaw from Kingen. Frog going to be taken out first. Pletter going to be second on the menu. A double kill for aiming, as now Yahoo's trying to keep them busy, but he takes a fossil to the face and is turned into one himself. All right, Lucid just trying to be Cassante. This is going to be his answer, trying to break the hearts of two at once, and he's going to be able to get the first on his birthday, and it's a double to come down for Lucid. There's an ace, and they were pretty mad that they had their Cloud Soul taken away from them, and their answer to it might just be winning the game.
And it ends up being a Dragon secured for DRX, but the engage from Kingen wins them the fight. Beautiful play there, and D+ should just be able to close it out. The spawn time is way too long. Pletter, you can't defend this solo, especially with reinforcements coming in.
Oh man, I tell you what, Kingen, when he's on, he is so incredibly on. Doesn't quite find that ulti, but that doesn't matter because this Nexus is dead. First, he finds the Baron, then he finds the game-winning team fight around the Drake. Gorgeous stuff from the top laner of D+.
He did the most damage, so why wouldn't I?
I mean, that is the boom boom
cast are in sync.
Yeah.
On that one. So I hope they have that in their wheelhouse and ready to bring it out.
Oh.
And the buffed Jace, it got 5 extra base damage and 5% AD on the Q, which doesn't sound like much, but when you amp that with the gate and the fact it already does crazy damage.
Kellen's Renata, a lot of power here for D+. We'll see whether DRX can get through it as we jump into the Rift for game number 2. Well, Kingen actually looking to pressure in.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Okay, yeah, well, they're all up here. He is going to have to take Acceleration Gate early, but there is a cold flash. And Kingen is, I mean, he does have his flash available. Doesn't actually have to use it. That is kind of crazy. Might have to burn Teleport if he does want to get that health bar back.
But now Lucid could be in trouble.
Yeah, Sponge moving on over here as well. Lucid does manage to at least get his red buff. As Frog is coming over. This is some yakety sacks now. Kingen also going to be discovered by a tree.
This is the thing, is that even though Kingen lives and keeps his flash, he's so low that he can't really help out Lucid. And Lucid, not being aware of the lane swap and advanced, he's unfortunately on the side of the jungle you definitely don't want to be on, so now he has to take this long trek towards his bot side.
Yeah, he's just going to be waiting in this brush. Not sure about that one, as Yahoo just moving underneath the turret here, dashing forward. There is Yahoo's going to go down. The flash out, and Showmaker stays alive. Oh, that is a big mistake on the DRX side. It looked like he was a sitting pigeon.
Your just auto attacks are so lackluster.
Yeah. Kellen moving on over here as Kingen getting underneath the turret. That is big. He just wants these minions. And now 3 members of DRX getting up here. There is the hammer back as Pleta is tanking this turret for a really long time. But he is going to survive. Teddy now in trouble. The ramp up of the turret damage is massive. And DRX going to have to back away with nothing to show for it.
Good navigation there. Oh, but Kellen might be stepping up too far. Does see Pleta.
Yeah, shakes his hand. Gonna make some money there as well, as you can see.
You've navigated, you've avoided the level 1 interactions, which are so unfavorable. Now you should be finding a way to...
Owie. Owie.
That's the flash.
Owie. Big owie. That's a cancelled auto. There's the flash.
Yeah, credit to Showmaker, but also Yahoo, you did not need to make this play. Goes for the kill, and you can see Q, double auto, gets the passive procs twice, and then he's just auto.
Yeah.
Auto. It's so slow if you don't get the kill.
What was that, is what he said.
감사합니다.
And he just said, thanks for saving my lane.
XP disadvantage.
Oh, okay, we're looking for the Emperor's Divide. There's the flash, and the Arctic Assault is beautiful. There's that mid-jungle synergy for D+. And that is going to be the 2nd kill for Showmaker.
And they're now committing top. Kellen once again moving topside to play this defensive cover angle.
Well, Kellen actually having a really good time as there's a flash out from Frog, or a flash in to where his turret is. And DRX trying to do what they can here, wanting to get this extra plate. They should be able to get at least that one.
A 3k gold deficit already feels rough. Arrow coming in. This is aiming for Yahoo.
All right, he is going to stop the back. Aiming just saying, no, you're not going home. You're in fact going to stick around for this minion wave. I think Shock Blast could also be an answer to that as well. There is a lot of telegraphed arrival.
1,000 gold difference just in plates.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty. Lucy going to come in. That is going to be the Rift Herald secured by DRX, but the hostile takeover kind of massive. Some teleports coming in, some Hex Gates being taken, and that is Kellen just by himself. Glacial Prison going to connect. The arrow is pretty good there as well, but Frog finds the Gnar. Kingen to the skies, and that's going to be the Azir locking down some kills, and now Aiming is just mowing them down. Teddy trying to cleanse and trying to find some of the moves, but he'll find a double kill and then go down, and Aiming finds himself a 3-0-2.
Aiming Showmaker like, okay, let's hit this target together, then this one, and now this one.
Oh dear. Kellen and Kingen are actually just lane partners. That's just how it is, I guess. And they are now a gank squad moving around and destroying everyone. Bullets and D+, and I think that it's relatively close as Kellen looking for Sponge here. There's definitely a lot of tape to take into account as well, and that is like one of them being that, okay, Arrow going to connect here as Showmaker finds the Emperor's Divide. The Twisted Advance is decent, but it doesn't really do enough. And now Frog is on the wrong side of this. Oh, actually, Nature's Grasp does end up killing Showmaker because he was underneath the turret, but Frog is also going to die. So we're going to say that that one was probably worth for D+.
Strategy.
Oh, we've got a little bit more of a fight here. Showmaker is just going to kill a tree. But now it's just arrows.
Has Tower always been there?
I mean, I assume so. I don't think we've changed the map all that much. Is Handshake going to come on through? There's a Glacial Prison after the setup. Gorgeously done. Unbreakable Will is going to look to try and mitigate it, as Showmaker does take a little bit of damage here. Hasn't actually elected to go for the tank Azir. He has just gone for the fleet footwork. I think not feeling like he was all that comfortable. Narbar position, pretty good for... It's just gone.
Yeah, you know, Sponge is like, oh, the Hex Gates were running late, you know.
Yeah.
Couldn't get there in time. Sorry, boss.
Well, Lucid just boosting his way in. Nature's Grasp does come down, but there's the hostile takeover. That gets rid of the tree, and Lucid still dashing forward. He's going to be gnawed back. There is the bailout, but it's just not going to happen in time. 1-for-1 trade in the end, as D+ just push them out of their mid lane. Yeah, the Conquering Sands just flies in. Shock Blast as well. I don't know whether that's... I mean, he's only a 1-1 and 2, Jace. Hasn't really been a game changer this time around.
He didn't do a crazy amount of damage.
But the poke is definitely still there. And sets up the acceleration gate. Yeah. Okay, Jace is still Jace, as it turns out.
Did they need to buff the Shock Blast damage?
Don't think so. I think Keen already showed us that you don't. I don't think so. And Glacial Prison going to connect onto Sponge. He's going to throw out his ulti as well. There's a little bit more. That's okay. He's like, oh, don't worry, guys, I'll backdoor.
Guys, I have a place
All right,
to be.
Arrow going to connect it. Oh, God! The entire kitchen sink
Happy
just thrown at
birthday!
the tree. What? They are arborists. That was a lot of tree removal.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, okay, they didn't quite need everything there, but that was the message was received. They get an ult out of Pleta here as well. He's going to flash for the Pulverize, looks for an option. Hostile takeover means that nothing's going to come of it. Aiming will secure that one. Shock Blast comes in. Showmaker wanting to get more done, but they are going to have to settle with just winning the game, I think. And Showmaker is just going to push them all the way to the back of the fountain. Frog turned back up again, but he still doesn't like the state of what's going on here, and still Aiming is just going to grab that kill. Flashes in. There's a whole lot going on, but I think the Nexus is still going to fall down. The Renata is going to die as well. That is another stray Shock Blast picking up a kill. And Lucid just Arctic assaulting around, and there's a sad B in the fountain to represent DRX's feelings for the series. 2-0 here for D+. That's a lot of damage from Showmaker, and that's not a lot of damage from Frog.
No.
Thank
you very much, guys. This is Jisun for the POG interview translation, joined by the solo POG on the side of D+ Kia, Showmaker. Congratulations on your win today. With this back-to-back POG today, you are now tied with Kenyan on the first place in the POG leaderboard with 700 POC points. How do you feel? You always talked about, coming at Kenyan to kill him, so you're getting really close. How do you feel? Yeah, I mean, feels amazing. Also, I mean, I almost said I'm honored to be tied with Kenyan, but I think it's weird. So I think it just feels amazing to be on top of the leaderboard as well. So we had a very early lock-in of mid-jungle duo, Viego LeBlanc comp, as soon as you saw the opponent going for Ashe in Italy. I think that's the mainstream comp, and I think what opponent went for was the mainstream comp, so we wanted to just go with the champions that we are feeling very confident. And then you were going for a very interesting rune choice and also spell choices. Was it all for the laning phase? Yeah, of course. I think I just wanted to kind of invest more to the laning phase in order to buy more space for my jungler. And game number 1 was an absolute show for LeBlanc. So let's take a look at this replay together. Kellen was not in the scene, but you still managed to go in for a pick. I knew that they didn't have vision over there. So yeah. And looking at the opponent's enemy around there, I knew that no one could actually kind of zone or stop LeBlanc. And then you just said in the player comp, Tristana, Tree is gone. So is that Tristana, the shortened form is Tree or Tuta? It's a very controversial topic over in Korean community. I mean, I usually go, I'm the team Tuta, Tristana. But whenever I'm actually playing on stage, I get to speak Tristana as tree. So maybe when I'm rushing, I just go with tree, but I'm honestly a team Tuta. And then there were some target bans towards your card. So how did you feel after seeing the enemy removing your LeBlanc? Well, I thought it was a sign telling me that, they were feeling really difficult to deal with the LeBlanc. So yeah, I thought of it as a compliment. And then you played Azir into Lucian. A lot of people take Grasp when they go into a champion that's really strong in lane like Yone or Lucian, but you went for the Fleetwood fork today. I mean, yeah, Grasp Azir is one of the meta right now, but still, Fleetwood fork is also really good. And then we had counter jungle action early on and also a lane swap. So did you have everything in mind and how did you deal with that? Well, to be honest, I was not expecting that to happen, but my teammates was really good with their reaction to their enemy's early game strategy.
그리고 마지막 세트가 끝나고 승리를 했는데도
after
다 같이 모여서
winning game
피드백하는
2,
모습이 잡혔거든요.
we noticed that all the Deeples Kia players are actually gathered up in the coach's booth. So,
궁금합니다.
what were you guys talking about? Maybe team dinner?
전혀 뭐 그런 얘기는 아니었고.
No, nothing about food or menu. We just wanted to go over some of the plays happened in that game number 2, especially the Herald team fight.
그리고 다음 경기는 하나생명과 세러데이 쇼다운입니다.
Now, your next matchup is the Saturday Showdown up against Hana Life Esports. Given your victory in the first round robin, you must be pretty confident, right?
되게 강팀이라고 생각해서.
Right now, I think their momentum is looking very strong, and they are one of the, or maybe, if not the only, I think they're one of the top dogs in the LCK, so I think we should not let our guards down.
이렇게 뜨거운 응원을
And
보내주시는
today,
팬분들께도 한
we
말씀 부탁드립니다.
Just as usual, have so many D plus Kia fans out here supporting you, especially there was a fan sign filled with letters that was expressing their love for D plus Kia. Anything to say for the fans? I'm always very grateful and I always appreciate your support. So next time I will come back with even better performance. Thank you so much. And that will be the end of the interview from Showmaker. Back to the space. Thank you.